Hello and welcome to Real Weird Sickos. My name is Tom Videogro. I hope you're having a fantastic day as we start this little adventure. But with a little adventure, I've got to start with my bestest friend in the flippin' world. It's Mr. Charles Khan. Mr. Charles Khan, what is popping in your
Well, let me tell you something, brother. There's always something popping, always something locking. Here we are, brother. Another night, another Real Weird Sickos. Ready to rock and roll.
That sounds terrific. But you know, we can't start the adventure without our favorite person in the flippin' world. It's Miss Jen. Jen, what's poppin'?
My daddies were fighting on Twitter this week. Well, not really.
Lord. Oh, Lord. Tell us.
Bill and OJ. That's all I got to say. Mic drop.
Oh, yeah. Has a type, you could say.
Is
but
this
Jen,
daddies like in a gay sense? That's gay slang.
No, they're my dads.
Just the dads.
Speaking of dads, we have somebody here today.
Is he from Muskogee?
Am I supposed to be a dad? Like, okay. Oh.
It's
Do I
it's
exude?
Oki's weird stories, Manny.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Oki's weird
That's
stories.
all right, Manny.
I was gonna ask, do I exude dad energy? I don't know. I don't know if
I
I
just it was a poor segue.
I feel like I have the dad bod.
We're just like, oh, dad bod. Cheers to that.
You know,
Segways are a fucking
I want to be
horrible
like
idea,
I want to be like
I-
those guys from the 1950s that are really in shape, but they're really out of shape. So you have no idea how strong they are.
like Bill Shatner fighting the Gork or whatever, like shirtless, or like Charles.
Oh, yeah.
Charleston.
When he fights that Gorn.
Gorn, not Gorn. Yeah, just like
The slow motion fight. Yeah. So funny.
yeah. You want to talk about a weird scene in the old classic Star Trek? I'm sure Jen's real excited about this. Star Trek has a big lizard monster called the Gorn. And he stands about a foot taller than Shatner, and this big sumbitch fights Shatner out in like this weird desert area that I guarantee you that they just drove like a half a mile away from the studio. It's like, that looks like a good place. Just filmed out in like this desert scene of Shatner fighting this rubber green monster that has the worst, like his eyes look kind of like Spider-Man's eyes. Like it looks so bad. Oh, it's lovely. It's a lovely, lovely scene.
And it's a slow motion fight. It's the weirdest fucking thing. You'll see he do like hammer throws into his chest.
Yeah, he
it's
always
one of the most
does
bizarrest
he'll put both hands together using his fighting technique of the future. Shatner puts both hands together and does the they had a name for it in wrestling, the double axe handle. I feel like that's
double
what it looks, 'cause it looks like you're holding an imaginary axe as you slam it down.
Apparently, they did a ad for
I don't remember
one of the
if
Star
that
Trek
was when
games
they
with
had.
him.
See, if I was going to do a Captain Kirk show, my Captain Kirk would always fight dirty. He'd be going for the eyes and groin in every single fight. Every single fight.
I gotta say, he does fight kind of dirty in that scene. Like he does like make a gun to eventually
I could
kill
have
it.
swore he went for the nuts in that one. I know for sure in Star Trek 3, the one with the Genesis planet with the Search for Spock. That's what it was. Star Trek 3, Search for Spock. They go, when he fights the Klingon at the end, first thing Captain Kirk does when he's on the ground is just full on, boom, right in the nuts.
Hell yeah.
Blast him on top of a volcano.
You assume that I absolutely hate Star Trek, but like The Wrath of Khan is a fucking badass movie.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes,
all the way.
It's led to many a meme throughout my life.
Fucking little earwig things, like, you know, that's cool. I like
the fourth one the best.
Oh, with the whales.
Yeah,
the whales.
Yeah, the whales
really
one
good.
is.
That was 4. That
like
wasn't
time
that
travel
4.
in San Francisco.
The
That was
voyage
4,
home.
right? Yeah, that's when Kirk
Yeah.
like gets like a Earthling woman, right?
Yeah. There's a great scene in that one where Scotty goes up to a computer. He picks up the mouse. Hello, computer.
I'd
I'd like you to do something for me.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. He didn't know.
Yeah.
Rocky, do you have any weird fighting stories? That's a good kind of jumping off point.
You're a ninja. You're a ninja, so you gotta have
Well, he's a
something.
military trained ninja.
Yeah.
Wait,
Absolutely.
are
So what's the
you
weirdest one that
asking
you-
me if I have any?
He's got
Me?
those knives.
Or-
Yeah.
Do
fight
I have any
stories.
weird fight stories?
You ever kicked a guy full blast in the nuts? Boom!
Not really. I mean, I've gotten in fights. I'm not good at fighting. I've learned that that's not something that when I was a teenager. That's not something that I'm really adept for. So yeah, since then, never really got into a fight again. I got a scar on my ear from
Dude,
getting into a fight.
we're
Yeah.
war brothers. I got some war scars myself from my younger years. I took an axe to the head, ironically, talking about double axe handles. When I was a kid, I got my head busted open with a hand axe.
Why? How?
Kids.
Just throwing hatchets. That's what boys do.
What the fuck?
So what happened was when I was, I think, roughly like 6 or 7, a whole bunch of families that we knew each other went out to some cabins out in the woods, which, historically has always ended really, really well. So a bunch of us kids were mussing around and were playing the fake world thing. And one of the kids grabs an axe and tries to do the throw axe into a tree and gets stuck.
What?
I walk in, I get the axe into the top of my skull. Again, I'm lucky that I have a thick head, but again, it's a very young kid.
Usually when people get an axe to the head, it kills them.
Yeah, it hit me on the top. Actually, there is if you see my hairline in some of my photos, you can see the scar on my head. Mm. There's a full scar there. It fell out. It didn't go too far because it landed in the tree behind it. So essentially just delivered a cut to my head. My face started pissing blood. Thank God most of the families there were involved in medical professionals. So I got it all sewed up. I was in shock for a while. But yes, that's the reason why I've got a big scar on the head. But that's not my only war story.
It explains a lot.
You've got more war stories?
Absolutely. But in relations to Oki's high school days, I remember living in rural Australia and going into full-on fights with people who were not at the school. I remember one time we had to go into the Oval, which is the place where you do sports for fucking AFL shit. And a whole bunch of kids from just around town came in with weapons. I think one of them had a crowbar and one of them had a knife. This is like some weird fucking Final Fight level shit.
Yeah.
Nice. So end up, we know one of the people from our school's in danger, so we end up grabbing stuff and rolling out to him and to essentially stop. So it was like a fucking the Warriors level gang fight in the middle of high school. Police had to get fucking called.
A lot of people don't know it, but Mad Max was actually a documentary about what's going on in Australia.
Yes.
Well, it's like
you and I are one of the Saw.
Yeah.
It's like the South Park. It's like the South Park episode where they buy like fucking ninja weapons from
God.
from like the swap meet and like the fucking
Jen,
Kenny like
have you been ninja Jen, are you a big pawn shop going gal?
I'm not.
Going into pawn shops is some of the most fun you'll ever have in your life because they all have ninja weapons. Just crazy amounts of ninja stars, knives, nunchucks. Oh, it's so
what?
Cool.
I'll tell you what. Like, there's
I bought them all. I got so much bullshit.
There's a whole bunch like in Anaheim, like near VidCon. So Oki and I will go hit up some for some ninja weapons.
Yeah,
well, yeah, let's do it. Like the first pocket knife that I bought was from a pawn shop. And that was when I was in middle school, and I was retarded. So like I threw it, it broke. Like I'm walking, and then I just see some other kid, like younger guy, when I'm walking home. And I'm just like, "Hey, do you want this?" It's like it's completely fucking busted. So I'm just like, here, take it. But this is the first weapon I bought was from a pawn shop.
I want to say the first.
So how many weapons do you have, and what are they?
Yes, I was gonna say. Yeah,
not much. Actually, I started like actually collecting them now. So
have you got?
So I got to get the nunchucks. That's something that I really want to get. But yeah, I have the katana and then the machete and just the tactical combat knife. And I don't know, like the reason, like I started posting a bunch of shit on Twitter, like just like, but
you were on a kick for a while.
But it's also a joke. I think that I don't know how many people realize that. Like what I'm doing is I'm making fun of like mall ninjas as well, and using myself as like an avenue to make fun of those types of people.
Is it hard to get that shit in Canada?
What? Okay, so you can't get a switchblade, which sucks because I think switchblades are really cool.
Same here.
Switchblades are so cool.
Fuck?
Yeah.
What about the butterfly knife?
You can buy a
can't
fucking
get that either.
machete. You can get a machete, but you can't get a fucking switchblade. What the hell is that?
Well, I think there's like
a machete has a legitimate use.
A switchblade.
Well,
it's
kind of like there's a lot of things. Well, there's a lot of things that like are like brass knuckles, like they're illegal here in the States.
Yeah, they're
are they?
illegal here as well.
Yeah, you could literally
Yeah,
kill
here as well.
somebody with them, but like knives are like.
I know a gal who
whatever.
got in some trouble. She had one in her purse one time and tried to say it was a paperweight.
Jeez.
That's
Good
amazing.
save.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. But Oki, what's the weirdest weapon you've seen in the recent history? What's the weirdest one you've clocked, my good
Oh,
friend?
dude, I really want to get like one of those cane, like pull out cane knives. Like I think those are
Yes!
so
Oh,
Cane
cool.
yeah,
swords.
those things
Yeah.
are badass.
So good. Let me get some. A cane sword shit is like some real
It's like
martial arts level
what's
shit.
the samurai movies? The one with the lone wolf and cub shit, where he's got
Yeah.
all these weapons stored inside the damn basket.
Hell
and he just
yeah.
pulls it off, and here's this biggest like fuck off knife.
Oh, they're insane. They're insane because it's like this old frail man walking down the street and there's fucking swing.
Yeah,
It's hectic. It's hectic. But yeah, I completely agree. Okay, that stuff is. There's something about that energy of turning a false like, oh, I'm injured and shit, and then blade.
yeah.
What's
People always make
yeah,
fun of
God,
me for that because I'm kind of a West Virginia hillbilly kind of guy. Not to humanize
No.
myself.
No,
And
really?
I always have a knife on me at all times.
Oh, really?
But yeah, whenever I don't have a knife, I feel super naked, and it turns into the Bart Simpson thing where everywhere I go, it's like, oh, can anybody got a knife? I need to cut this, or oh, hey, you'd be able to help this guy if you had a knife, and it's like, yeah, I bet I could get him loose. I could probably cut that cake. Yeah, I bet I could help that. It's just
I don't think anyone can walk around with a knife big enough to cut a cake because that's like you've got to have a sheer length on that one. That's a fucking.
you
gotta get a
surprised the
like a
length of the
meat
knives
shaver.
I have noticed that that's just like a guy thing. You know, it's like any excuse to like bust out the knife and use it for any stupid, like the stupidest, most ridiculous reason, like something that they could just easily break in half. They like bust out the knife, and it's like
I
not
use
really necessary.
So
I've
I bought my knife and I realized that all I use it to do is like open Amazon packages.
See,
And I don't really use it for any other reason.
Like,
Have you
I'll go
have you
camping
seen the
because
ones they got the Swiss Army knife that has all the little shit in it?
Oh yeah.
It's got
course,
all
yeah.
the
The
scissors
giant
and
ones.
bottle
Yeah.
cap openers and all these other
those
little
can
things in it.
see. I was about to say, like camping, like those can like those come in handy, you know, because it's like I have like a core
Yeah.
group of dudes that I hang out with,
You need to clip your fingernails. It's got it.
and they literally like for the stupidest
Compass.
shit, they'll bust out the knife. I'm like, what? You could have just like it's like cutting a bag open for something that you
Yeah,
can just cut
true.
the bag open, and then they get out the knife and they make sure that they like the way that they like pull it out and everything. It's just like there's like a motion that they have to
It's
do.
like
and I'm
really
like,
dramatic, isn't
Yeah,
it?
really,
Yeah.
it's very
That,
dramatic, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's not necessary.
The one I like the
then, like-
most. It's
But
the
if
one,
I need a knife or something, then they'll give me shit. They're like, see, you needed it. You fucking needed it.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude,
You always
like,
need a
it's
knife.
not the
especially a buck knife.
Yeah.
A buck knife is the one that you need the most because that's the really
Okay.
big ass one.
Did you say BUCK or BUTT?
BUCK.
Because I heard two things.
Buck.
Okay. a
You know,
buck
like
knife.
like
you were breaking a
buck
buck.
breaking.
Yeah.
Like a
Buck
Tariq
breaking,
Nasheed
yes.
knife.
But this is a buck
Trick
knife.
Nasheed, where is he?
This is for skinning a buck. But I suppose you could also run a trout line with it.
Oh shit! I was about to mention that I have the exact same knife. I call it the Resident Evil 6 knife. Because I found it when I was
I always say it's a
dad
Rambo
move.
knife. Like you remember Rambo, the sides of the
Yeah.
knife that he had. It's got the serrated edge. Like that's what I describe this knife as. And whenever I can
Yeah,
bust that
those are
thing
cool.
out, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
I will say
it's a knife that'll
think-
impress an Australian. That's the way I'll describe it that way.
Yeah.
If I pull this sumbitch out in front of Paul Hogan, he's gonna go, "That is a knife."
Well, I think we mentioned a great topic right there, and I think we can't, unfortunately, pass it. Tariq Nasheed's greatest movie of all time. Greatest documentary, I should say.
Oh man,
That is buck breaking.
Yeah, buck
What
breaking.
was
What is
what
what
was
is
that
the fucking
dude
fly on
thinking?
that one?
Well, you guys know, like, I made a video about it on my second channel, and I got it got strike down for hate speech.
What?
It was
I remember you
fast
posting that on
too.
Twitter.
It
It-
was
it
only
hurt
like
me.
within like a matter of hours too, right?
It was it was like immediate. Yeah, it was like
yeah.
I think it was like 50 minutes to like an hour. Like basically, like all I did is like a basic like a review of it, and then yeah, it got strike down for hate speech, and then yeah, YouTube. I made enough noise on Twitter, which is I guess what you have to do if you're a YouTuber.
Fucking
Yeah.
fortunately, you're right.
That sucks. Because what if you're a dude who's been banned from Twitter?
Well, then you have
posting
no
hate
you have no
speech.
recourse really.
Yeah.
You're
You know,
fucked.
like, I know a guy
Yeah.
who got banned from Twitter. They just wrote back like, "Yeah, you post hateful content." And it's like, what the hell, hateful content? I post memes.
It's
Like you talk from the third person to the first person very
Yeah.
quickly.
Wait, was that you?
Whoopsie
Okay,
daisy.
did you were you taken down for like hateful content as well, or
My
like,
good friend, several accounts ago, who's had multiple
Many
accounts,
personas
is
ago.
banned for various reasons.
mhm.
Yeah.
Like, listen,
Yeah,
I know
but I will
dudes
say-
who have been banned from Twitter that have had the there's the one ban that they'll do called an IP ban where they just ban everything
Yeah.
and you just
Yeah.
So
turbo
what
ban.
did YouTube tell you? Like I
Yeah,
forgot. Like
Yeah,
all I
what did they-
remember, I
were they
really
just
remember
like,
is it got
"We're
got taken
sorry."
down. It got taken down. Like I hadn't even seen it yet. Like I was out doing something, and then I was gonna come home and watch it, and it was like gone. You tweeted it was already fucking gone. So what happened after that?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, you
Okay.
did the
So
book
basically,
breaking,
what
like-
happened is like, yeah. So I did the like review, and then hate speech violation, whatever. I appeal it, and then within like 10 minutes, they say we had like a human look at it, and we're going to reject your appeal. So
Whoa.
throughout the whole thing, like obviously they didn't have a human look at it, because
Right.
if they did, they would realize that I'm a very measured person. I'm not extreme in any way whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a goofy documentary that this dude made. For
I was
context
making
for
fun of
people.
him
Yeah,
pretty much. And so
Everyone was, yeah.
yeah. I
And
don't
then-
think
I don't know why
that guy
he hit
looks in the
you.
mirror and makes fun of himself. Like he has to, right? He has
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
He has to know what he's saying.
Yeah. But yeah, you hit the point. You hit the nail right on the head.
I think
fucking
he's-
YouTube's scuffed. It's how they judge things. It's shithouse.
it's garbage. And about Tariq Nasheed, I think that he's like definitely just a grifter. He knows what he's doing. He
yeah.
knows that he's
We
playing
have a lot
to a
of fellas
certain
like
audience.
that in America that, for whatever reason, they've decided that this is the grift that they're on. It's worse than that guy on YouTube who's decided that his gimmick is that he's going to be a pedophile. He's writing songs
Mr.
about
Girl,
being a pedophile and that kind of stuff.
Mr. Girl, I kind of like Mr. Girl. I'm
Well, listen,
gonna be
he's very friendly guy, and he's very
I'm gonna be-
funny.
I'm gonna
but,
be the
That's
contrarian
a
here.
hell of a gimmick.
Good. Oh, I'm pulling up
Let
a
him
chair.
talk. Let him talk.
I will be the contrarian here. I think that Mr. Girl does like a lot of, like, if you watch his other videos, I don't know if you had the chance to, like, he blew up in the most negative way because of the cuties video.
Yeah.
But
It's
he's
heel
done.
heat.
I mean, he's done several other videos that have nothing to do with that.
Yeah,
I've had the opportunity to talk to him. I think that he's a troll to a certain
Yeah.
degree, but at the same time, I do think that he's kind of fucked in the head. But
I always
when
compare things to wrestling. They've had characters in wrestling that were unsavory like that in a way that would upset people.
not
You
to
look at
that degree.
Goldust or Adrian Adonis, like that sort of thing, and that's it feels like
No
that's
one's gone the
where,
pedophile gimmick.
yeah, that
Unfortunately,
feels
no.
like that's where that guy's going. Like he's trying to get that sort of heel heat of,
Yeah.
hey, look what I'm into.
Well,
Aren't
well,
I a
he's-
bad
he's-
boy?
We
He's
should give notes.
okay
We should
with-
give notes. Okay.
He's okay
Yeah.
with infamy, right? So that's just, I think that's
Yeah.
what he wanted to do, but he doesn't realize that he put a massive target on his head that will never be erased
Yeah.
with doing the cuties
Yeah.
video and with doubling
there's,
down with the
Well,
the
we should
pedophile.
give people
the
there's
pedophile
terms
we
music
should
in
give
video.
notes like
wrestling, so
who Mr. Girl is.
You generate
Listen,
heat
yeah.
by being a bad guy. Heel heat is what they call that. You want to get hot as the bad guy. So, wrestler comes out, he's like a foreign guy, he rips up the American flag, and then it's like, all right, now Hulk Hogan kick this guy's ass. He's got to, for America.
Well,
Well,
see,
it's-
that's
there's
a
a
beautiful
thing, yeah,
that's
there's
a
a-
beautiful analogy
yeah.
actually there.
Yeah, there's
Right,
such a
so
thing
ripping
as
up the
go home
American
heat.
flag, the ripping flag is going to piss off a significant amount of
Oh,
people.
yeah.
And I think that what he did is it kind of hits to a certain core where like he's joking about such a taboo subject that like you should never ever approach. But at the
Yeah.
same time, if you are someone who who believes in the free speech argument, then
Yep.
I don't understand how anybody would not want to support him, when
Yeah,
he gets
it's the Voltaire
his channel taken down for pornography, which he didn't post any pornography.
Yeah, he just sang songs about how he liked to bang little girls or whatever.
Well,
Which is
not
no
pornography,
different.
though.
It was obviously
Oingo Boingo
satire. It was obviously probably the worst kind of it was the worst kind of satire, but at the same time, he took a little too long to be like
supposed to be biting.
right,
It's
but
supposed
it's
to
like
be mean spirited.
Yeah, but there is a
look at
fucking
your Jonathan
line.
Swifts,
people
that
wanted
kind
him
of
to
thing.
come out and say like it was just a prank, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
and at that time when you have to say that it's just a prank, bro, then you've ruined the joke.
Yeah,
and
don't
nobody
break
wants
kayfabe.
to
Well,
fucking
I-
At
do
no
it.
there's a
point
great-
when Sergeant Slaughter was an Iraqi sympathizer did he go, you know what, guys, this is all just pretend. I don't actually hate America and love Iraq. Okay,
Well,
like don't
there's a certain
get
line.
me
There's a
wrong
certain
here,
line.
do
I will
fellas.
think-
say this.
I-
There's a difference between
Oh, no,
Jim
sorry.
Neidhart came out. Jim Neidhart came out back in like the old district days of wrestling, dressed as a KKK member, going into the
Ooh.
ring. Yeah, so it's like there's a line. That's the
Right,
literal
and
equivalent.
this is the thing called
of just-
go home heat that they have,
Go home.
also
X-Pac
known as
heat.
X-Pac heat, where you have become nuclear heat.
Do you know what I wonder?
There's one Oki probably is not familiar with it. I'm sure Tom is familiar with the Katy Vick story, where
Oh, yes.
they had
Fucking corpse.
a bit on wrestling where part of Triple H's backstory was that he had a girlfriend who died named Katy Vick, and he crawls into the coffin with what's clearly a mannequin, but it's supposed to be the dead body of this woman, and he attempts to make love to her, or does make love to her, essentially raping a corpse. That was presented on a Monday Night Wrestling show.
Yeah, it was the high school girlfriend
That's
of
what it
Kane.
was.
Yes,
And what was
he
the
mashed
the
skull.
backlash when he did that?
It was
Immediate.
pretty. It was like historical
Immediate.
wise, we go back and look like he got nuclear heat. He got nuclear heat,
Mm-hmm.
but again, it was back at the time where they could push boundaries very quickly.
Like,
It
that
was the
would have
next
been
best,
right
yeah.
around the last push of wrestling actually trying to get people going with that sort of stuff. Like they don't
Yeah,
they don't
I
do
guess-
it the
Pillman
same
gun
way
accident?
now. Like the last time I saw a bad guy be a bad guy on their programming was they're pushing him like it was Rocky IV. And he would come out. He had the woman that would do all his talking for him, like like in Rocky IV. And he was Bulgarian though, so it was kind of weird. And they have him come out in a tank at WrestleMania and wrestle with John Cena, who's representing America. That very clear good guy bad guy stuff. But now they do like what they call a tweener, where you're not exactly sure who's a good guy and a bad guy, and it's just like what the hell is this?
I suppose I like it when people like MrGirl do videos like the I'm a pedophile video. Like I just like it when people go so far out and do things that are clearly gonna piss a lot of people off, and I enjoy it. Like I mean I like I don't know if you're familiar with like the IRL streamers, like the offshoot,
fellas who walk around with the talk box things and have
and like the
the chat come
TTS
in
and like
and
it's
Basically
like screaming.
everything Frank
screaming-
Castle does.
Yeah,
Well, Frank
so,
Castle's, the probably the more popular guy now, but who's the fella? They were out and they
I would
pulled
say
guns
there's
on a
more-
guy.
It was like the Ice
There's,
Poseidon. The Ice Poseidon.
Ice
Ice
Poseidon.
Ice Poseidon really moved that whole IRL in your face thing to a whole nother level. What's really funny? It was that guilty little pleasure when they what was it 2 years ago when they did the RV trip and there was just some fucking thing going on every day cops were being called.
And
Yeah,
it's
Chad
so
got
It was
banned
good.
from Twitch
It
with
was
them.
so
good.
fucked up, and I don't know. It's just it's dirty in a way, and
Yes.
I don't know. I appreciate because most of the things that we're being fed are very sanitized and corporate, and
You
like
the
every
punk
other
rock of
YouTube
it.
video.
You like the grunge of it. You like
I like that, and I like
That they're pushing,
Gigi
that they're
Allen
going- they're out
shitting
on
in
the
his
edge,
hand,
Howard
Yeah,
Stern,
Gigi Allen.
Edge.
I like
Exactly.
when somebody comes up and you're not at first you're not sure how to digest them. It's kind of like they come up and they're jarring in a way where you're like, is this motherfucker serious? You know, and you could pretty much find out maybe like 10 minutes in, all right, he's not serious, but I like how this is probably going to piss people off. You know, like Brittany Venti started out like that, but now she's completely different. She's completely
it's the fucking Bloodsport shit. It's that stupid fucking Bloodsport shit that kind of stemmed it out.
I spoke to her a little bit this week, and she's just like, "Yeah, whatever you want to do. Like, you want to go hard. Like, let's go hard." It's like, oh, great.
Yeah.
No,
you gave the wrong guy.
Venti is a character.
She can't take going hard anymore. She's not even out of character. She can't take going hard anymore. She used to. I know she can't anymore.
And We know about the infamous situation with the TTS and the Arab anti bum. See,
I thought that was.
Situation.
I watched like all of those, like all the VODs of that, and I love that. Yeah. I just loved watching. Fair. I love that that's available. I don't know, you know, like
I don't agree with it entirely.
I think that I can exist where I don't condone their actions. I don't condone what Frank Hassel does at all. I think he's a piece of garbage. But I love
Frank
his videos.
Has certainly pushed the boundaries.
Exactly. It's fun to watch.
He's pushing the boundaries.
You kind of cringe at some things where you're just like, oh God, this is just so not necessary, but I can't stop watching.
Here's the difference between what a lot of guys are doing. It's, you think back to stuff like Jackass and Tom Green from 20 years ago. There's the part that you don't see is the little producer girl who goes up behind them. And Tom Green's thing was they would hire like smoking hot chicks. Who would almost instantly deflate everybody. Yeah. They would go up with the paperwork, everybody sign it, and be like, hey, this is actually a show. Like, we're just for fun.
You can get somebody to sign a release, but when you're on YouTube and it's just you and a couple of buddies, there's no releases to be signed.
Yeah. No, well, people sign releases. I think that's like an amazing strategy. I didn't know that about Tom Green,
they would use 10 out of 10.
Like really hot girls, huh?
Yeah.
It's a good strategy, but like, you know, average schmo on YouTube or on Twitch, like, do they even like?
Yeah, they do.
Is that even allowed on Twitch anymore?
Well,
like, I don't even know what's
allowed. Like, there was a couple fellas who had just devolved their content into, we're just gonna ride around and spray people with mace. And I'm like, what the hell is this? This isn't right.
Baked Alaska.
Like, this isn't funny, man. Like, you're gonna hurt somebody. Like, you're gonna do this to somebody who's gonna have a gun, and they're gonna shoot your ass like live on camera.
Well, it's the concept of racing to the bottom. It's the lowest level that people can push it.
But at the same time, I find it entertaining. I watched the Andy Warren.
Tom Green understood the line. There's the one where they go out. They're gonna be Undercutter's Pizza. He goes out. He's going to follow a pizza man, and he's got a tackle box full of toppings, and he's going to run up and say, we'll give you the pizza $1 less than this guy will. And for whatever reason,
what were you going to say?
This dude got so mad at Tom, and Tom's like leaving as this dude kicks his tackle box full of shit. And Tom's like, this is the line, man. We got to cut it. We got to go. Let's go.
Yeah.
I think it's I don't know. You can draw the line somewhere, but then kind of completely you're gonna have to dissociate yourself from like the freedom of speech and the freedom to do whatever you want argument if you draw that line. It's like it's similar to like if like the comedy thing where like someone says something crazy on and awful in a stand-up comedy set, and you're like, well, the line that I'm drawing here is that's not comedy. Well, who are you to say where the line should be drawn, and like how do you?
I tell you exactly where the line is. The line is in when you're actually physically hurting other people. Anytime you have to touch somebody or like do something in that nature, then you've gone too far.
But when when people have to push the boundaries to kind of keep the content fresh, that's where it starts to get dangerous, because it's like, okay, I need to fucking top what exactly. I got to top what I did last week. Otherwise, everybody's gonna think I'm a pussy bitch. So let's go.
And that's how we end up like people fucking dying, like the fucking swatting. That's the reason why I specifically cleaned the entire gimmick up. Yeah, because he saw what he was doing, because it's the whole Hampton Brandon shit. all that little that fucking space.
He started
space that he
getting
made.
into so much like legal troubles. I think the guy's fucking
bet.
hilarious.
I
think he's a
I
legend.
love
I think he's
Hampton
a
Brandon.
fucking legend. But here's the thing: when you start getting into a lot of legal shit, at some point you have to be like, is this worth it? Is this shtick worth it? Do I need to like kind of tone it and do something else? And if you have a big enough following, I feel like you can kind of shift gears.
Yeah.
And do something else. Like you don't have to keep like running shit in the mud. You can kind of shift gears and do something else. Some of your audience will leave, but some will stay, and then some will, you'll gain new ones. I think like it's a totally safe thing to do.
Tom Green did it.
Yeah.
Tom Green had to quit being the man on the street doing prank stuff.
Yeah.
I guess
I
kind
turned
of
into like late night TV show host.
I grew up, watching Jackass and stuff like that, and I always liked that over the top, crazy bullshit.
But
Hampton Brandon, by the way.
The thing about the Jackass fellas is that their pranks were on one another more than anybody else.
That's
who they were slapping and hitting. They weren't just going up to somebody on the street and slapping the shit out of them.
So,
but Hampton Brandon was another cunt. He's another star.
So I do generally agree with you. Like I said, I don't condone the actions of someone like a Hampton Brandon. I think that he's actually insane. Like he's not.
Oh, he is.
He's mentally out there, but I find him so entertaining. Like
it's fun to watch.
I can't look away from the car crash.
Yeah, I think that the onus is more so on the individual creator to maybe draw a line, and if they want to go out there and do insane things and, face legal troubles for slapping or macing someone in the face, well, then they deserve the punishment that they get. But outside of that situation, I can watch, and if there's a massive corporation like Google or YouTube or whatever that's hosting this stuff, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
There was a fella on YouTube who had all these crazy guns that got in trouble.
FPS Russia.
A fake Russian accent.
He didn't get in trouble with the weapons. His producer got killed, and then the FBI took all these guns.
Holy shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah, FPS Russia had his one of his producers ended up mysteriously dying. And Kyle almost took he did some jail time for the weapons because he had them illegally. Let me go and grab the information because I remember he's talked about it on his podcast. But yes, he did go into the clink, and he has stories about being in the clink.
Pokey. Like you can't have fully automatic weapons in America.
You can't. Have you ever had any weird like IRL run-ins? Like we know about like high school fights, but like what about just
I don't know. Have you ever had an adult fight? Adult fights are scary.
Not just like a run-in. Like a run-in, like a weird-ass run-in.
Well, not necessarily fights. I'm a pretty passive guy, but I remember you were asking me about like some weird stories from my personal life. So I did think about like two like kind of strange things that happened. First one was when I was like walking downtown Toronto, and so I'm trying to get somewhere, and I passed this, this kind of like I guess he's like a black nationalist guy, and he's trying to get me, like he's trying to talk to me. He's trying to give me his literature, like his pamphlets.
Oh, fuck.
And then,
hey, brother.
And that no. See, here's the thing. So then when I said I'm busy, he's like, it's 'cause I'm black. And it's like something that's always stuck with me. It was so strange.
Was it because he was black?
I guess so. Yeah, it totally probably was because he's black. I gave him a look, and I looked back at him after he said that, and he was totally like deadpan serious.
So if a Korean guy had said to you, "Hey, I want to tell you all about our Korean Pride Month," and then you walk away, and he's like, "Hey, is it because I'm Korean?"
See, that's different because I'm black. So
was he like?
That's what makes it even weirder.
Was he like a Nation of Islam guy with like the
little
bow tie?
Or was he doing?
No, he was just like some
Hebrew
guy.
Israelites. Black Hebrew Israelites are the best.
He was just a guy, just a regular.
He was definitely part of some sort of like black nationalist group. I couldn't tell if it was like black Hebrew Israelites or like the Black Panther Party or some sort of thing.
Did he say the phrase
the black
right?
Scientologist?
He basically called you racist.
He called me racist, and he's like, "It's because I'm black." And I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
Damn.
It was so strange. And
they
Maybe
went
he
full
was
black
blind.
Scientologist on
Maybe
you.
he was blind.
What if
I
he
think-
was blind?
Sorry.
Okay, so here's what I
That
think.
makes
Here's
you
what I
racist
actually think
and
it was.
ableist, Okie.
Here's what I think it was. I think it's because like you can tell, like, you know, we have in Toronto we have a lot of like Caribbean people, and then we also have a lot of like, you know, East African people. I'm East African. I'm from Somalia. Well, I'm not from like I was born in Canada, but my parents are from Somalia. I'm like, you know, I'm 100%
You know the
Somali.
culture.
So
Yeah.
what this guy, you know, so there's this kind of thing, this kind of rift between, you know, Caribbean people, or like what Tariq Nasheed constantly brings up, where it's like you're not authentically African American kind of thing.
Yeah, I had
So-
a friend
so-
from New
so
York.
there's a
like Katy.
rift. So like a Tariq Nasheed would see me, for example, and he'd be like, "Well, you're not that." So I think that's what this guy was going off of as
You're
well.
a faker
Today was
dinker.
going
East
on
I'm
Africa.
gonna
about,
spoil something for you. I'm gonna spoil something for you.
You're
That
a
was
black
actually
guy
true.
doing.
That was,
You're a black guy
and
doing
African
blackface.
black people. Like he was just going
Well,
off.
Trudeau.
hard
I was gonna
about
say
it.
that guy handing out the literature was Trudeau. It was a secret Trudeau reveal. That whole fucking
It was,
thing.
it was
God.
Trudeau the whole time.
So, what other adventures have you ever had? Like, I don't know
Okay,
what
so-
Toronto's like. I've never been. I've only been to Vancouver.
I think it's like a big city, right?
So, I'll let you know. It's definitely it's like one of it's the biggest city in Canada. Yeah. So the other story that I thought about is because I worked at my dad has a pharmacy. Throughout my whole life I worked at it, and I was like a pharmacist technician there throughout most of my 20s, and every day there was a lady who would come in. Well, not every day, like probably once a week. She would come in and she'd be on a wheelchair. And every time she would come into the pharmacy, we would have to spray air freshener because
Oh no,
she stunk like piss.
Oh,
And like
God.
the lingering smell in the air that she would leave behind was so overpowering that we'd have to open up doors, windows.
Describe.
It smelled like piss. It smelled like rotten piss.
So you think it was?
And-
could it have been cat piss or human piss? Because I had an
It was
aunt.
her
Human.
piss. It was
I had
her
an aunt
piss.
who had a bunch of cats, and every time I go do like yard work for her, you could smell.
So-
Like I cringed physically just now remembering that smell.
You guys.
So there's more.
smells
There's more
everywhere.
to the story actually.
Okay.
So one day, me and my dad go in the parking lot, go to his car. A taxi is parked right next to my dad's car, and
Oh, fuck.
I glanced for like a second, and I could tell that the cabbie was fucking her in the car.
How old
I
was she?
recognized her.
Wait. Wheelchair woman was getting it in the taxi.
Yes,
Wheelchair?
How
The-
old was she roughly?
she was missing teeth. She looked like
Oh,
she's been doing meth for like 20 years.
So
And
she
the
was a
piss
wheelchair
smell.
prostitute,
She was a prostitute. I'm pretty sure she was a prostitute.
Also,
or
And-
maybe
Actually,
she was just a really like happening gal. It's
Wheelchair
like,
shit happened?
She was a
Say that
piss
again.
prostitute.
I couldn't-
Sorry,
just
I'll
like,
check on this one. Why the
just,
fuck
you
is
know-
a wheelchair involved? Did I hear a wheelchair at any
Yeah.
point? Like, sorry,
Yeah, she
wheelchair piss
would
cover.
roll in to my dad's pharmacy, every once in a while. She,
stink up the
to get her
joint.
meds, smelling a fucking like really bad piss. Like I said, air fresheners and
God.
everything.
It doesn't.
One day-
Air fresheners doesn't do shit with that piss smell. I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
And then
Yeah,
then one
sure.
day, just see a cabbie and he's fucking
Laying
her,
pipe.
and
laying fucking pipe.
was he okay? Was he on top? Describe what you
Travis
saw.
Oh, he
Bickle.
has to
It
be.
was
He
like
had to
the
be.
it was
Travis
like
Bickle's
the
getting some.
it was like the chair was pulled back. And so I
Wait,
could
so she
like
was
I
like laid back
glanced for
in the wheelchair getting it.
no, she wasn't in the wheelchair at that point. No, she was just laid down on the chair.
Huh.
So like I glanced for a second, and like I just felt like like the pit of my stomach, like oh my god, that's like pure revulsion.
Yeah,
just
it's weird
see
seeing
that
other
would've
people
been
have
nuts.
that
sex.
that someone is fucking this woman.
Even if it wasn't
imagine-
ugly,
just
if
imagine
a
that
hideously
encapsulated
ugly woman,
smell.
it'd be a weird thing to walk by.
Oh
It'd be
no,
like
she was
that Madonna-
hideous. Like
wheelchair-bound piss woman.
It'd be like the Wayne's
getting
World
fucked by
Madonna
a
video,
cabbie.
where you walk by and you look in like, oh man, what the hell? Like, ugh.
Was it? And it
And
was
it-
broad ass daylight.
no. This was like closer to like I think it was like near dark, like not necessarily.
But it
Twilight.
wasn't. But
It
it
was-
was
it was
like in the
enough-
middle of the night
a
where
dusty
nobody's like
prostitute?
out.
No. It was enough that I could see. Like it was enough that I could see what was going on based off of a glance, and I looked.
Maybe that
away.
cabbie was into
Archie,
piss
you
smell.
sweet
Maybe that
boy.
was his fetish.
And you know what the thing is, like the craziest thing about it is like a cabbie,
$10.
like in Toronto at least, you like it's not easy to become a cabbie. Like you have to get the medallion, you have to pass a test,
What?
you have to license your cab. Like that's not easy. It's not like
Really?
just becoming a Uber driver or something.
Yeah,
that's,
do they
that's
do
different.
Yeah,
Uber in
I heard that
Canada?
from New
They
York.
got the Uber stuff going.
I didn't know that. I had no
Well,
idea.
okay, isn't the
So
idea
what is
of a
he doing?
piss-covered woman being
Fucking
fucked?
piss woman,
I don't know.
piss prostitute.
Piss woman
And he
being
looked
fucked in a
normal.
cab is like
He looks
it's the
normal.
reason why Uber exists. Piss woman.
Maybe
That's
he's
exactly
just down
why.
bad. Maybe he's just down bad.
He probably, she
Oh,
was
he's
like
a cabbie!
$20, and he was like, okay, well, a hole is a hole. I don't know, like
Well,
Jesus
well,
Christ.
There are plenty
well,
of
we should
guys
say
that
this is
do
like-
the hole's a hole. Like,
Yeah.
it's-
Maybe he's
it's
a wheelchair
Well, this
guy.
is like the fake taxi meme. The fake taxi meme, but in real life. And that's how horrible it is. You have
Some
some
be
guys,
fucking-
weird. I
some
feel like,
guys
what do you do
not
with their
have
legs? Like-
standards. They don't have standards. Some guys truly do not have
We don't.
standards. They don't.
We don't. But yeah,
Zero.
it's the fake taxi from a British woman sucking off the cabbie to a piss-covered woman getting fucked in a wheelchair by a cabbie.
No, she
in almost
wasn't in the
daylight.
wheelchair at that point. I guess that they put
Oh,
it in the back.
at least it's handy capable. in
He
that
was on
sense, but-
top of her, so like that's what I remember. Granted, this was like
Respect.
8 years ago, so like, and I glanced,
That's fair.
but it was clear as day that
Yeah.
my glance caught them in the act, and they were looking right at me.
And they kept
Oh,
going.
no.
They kept-
No,
Did
they
they-
didn't
did they do-
keep going. I don't know
Did
what
they
they
do
kept
the
doing.
move like in The Shining when they walk by the dog, the person in the dog suit blowing the old guy, and they look at you like, "Hey,
It's
what
that.
the hell?"
It's that.
Oh,
What are you
geez.
It
doing?
was like that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Gave you the look of like you're the asshole, like you're the problem, not them plowing one another in the taxi cab.
God damn, Marky. That matey, just imagine that smell inside of that capsulated cab. It would have smelt like my
Bro,
opinion.
she
He would have had
she
to
stunk.
autoclave his dick after that.
God,
She
the worst
stunk, dude.
smell.
Like I remember that smell, like clear as
Oh.
day. Anytime she like, and we have the pharmacy is big, and she just
Yeah.
rolls in,
Fair.
and the smell it was so overpowering
Just
like,
see
think
stink
about
clouds, like
That
stink
we
lines
had-
coming off of her.
that exactly. It's like a comic book, like where stink lines. You can see it like visually. That we had to do fucking like air fresheners and shit every time that she came in.
Oh,
It's disgusting. Missing teeth.
It's disgusting.
It looks like a meth head.
It's like the nursing home smell.
everybody's coming in
Oh,
saying
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, where everything is just piss. Like,
Sorry
it's
about
just
the
piss.
smell. Sorry.
But I think okay. I think there's something. I think on par with that would be going into one of those conventions where it's a non-air conditioned event with a whole bunch of nerds in it.
Like a Super
like
Smash
a-
Bros.
I was about
Yeah,
to
the
fucking
Glint-
say it,
we always go back to
I was
this
gonna say
Glint
the
video.
fucking same thing. Yeah, we talked about this previous, but that smell
Blink
of
and the
unwashed
stink.
ass in
I-
different emanations. It's different flavors of horrible smells.
Yeah, the
In one
Magic the
place,
Gathering
not
guys don't
ign-
smell quite as bad as the Smash Brothers guys or the cosplayers.
I used to shoot videos like at Smash Brothers tournaments, and
Dude!
I can
Oh.
attest
Dude, me
that
too.
the smell.
But I used to do stuff in Melbourne. Fucking right. Oh my god, it's so fucking bad, isn't it, mate? There's
It's
always
bad.
that one cunt that smells the worst.
just
Oh,
the
fuck.
whole atmosphere, and like a few of them that I was shooting at, like there was no air condition,
Oh,
so it's just like it's
yeah.
the repeated
absolute
sound.
mad lads.
Like the fucking from Hyrule Temple map in Smash Bros, like that repeated
Yeah.
sound that you just like hear in the background, and then also the smell, and just like this overwhelming humidity.
Oh.
It's BO and like
what kind of
ass.
maniacs
Yeah.
would try to live together and just like what is the smell like when they go back to their hotel or whatever? Like how
They have
bad
like
is-
they have
It's horrible.
you know like the speed runs, like when they
Oh,
get
yes.
together and the little
Awesome
tiny
Games Done
like
Good.
Yeah.
like they had like rules where you had to shower, like you couldn't come in unless you had showered that day because the smell had gotten so bad, like the BO and the musty ass. Like,
How inept do you have to be to not be able to clean yourself?
well, that's
like,
what
I think
conventions
it's like-
smell like. Like that's what Comic-Con smells like.
I think it's like they're kind of childish, and I don't know, like they're kind of like man children, right? So like
Yeah.
they.
I can agree to some of it, but
I always thought the way they
it's-
played
it's-
Smash
it's
Brothers was
inept.
just so stupid. Like you're playing
being
on
inept.
1 versus 1 on the most boring level with no items, and you're just sliding underneath one another the whole time. Like, what the hell are you guys even doing?
Oh, I think I can agree.
Well,
to this. It's a
be
lot
fair.
of sweaty shit. It's a lot of sweaty
Yeah.
shit, and that's the reason why
To
it
be
smells
fair,
bad.
I think that like Smash players are kind of gross, but at the same time, I do appreciate. I appreciate the technicality it takes. Like,
Absolutely, yeah.
The
Yeah,
amount
they
of,
take it
like,
very
things that
serious.
they
They
have
have
Speedrunners,
tweaking it to the highest point.
Speedrunners definitely
Oh, man.
have everybody else beat. Bar
Yeah,
none.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
they make me feel retarded. Like,
I bet.
Like,
I
I
never
get it.
considered this about the fursuit guys. What must that smell like? I
Oh,
bet you
that's
that smells
awful.
horrible.
well, you guys talked about like on one of your podcasts about the shitty fursuit
messy
guy.
tails.
Yeah.
Messy
Messy
Tails.
Tails.
Rest in
Messy
peace.
Tails he's not
The
dead. I can
legend.
promise you, I don't think he's dead.
Oh,
Like, how do you-
I disagree. Messy Tails has to have died. Either he killed himself or he got some sort of poop-related disease.
It's
For those
just-
who don't
it's-
know who are just
it's
tuning in,
just
Messy Tails.
Too easy. It's too easy. I
Messy
just don't
Tails
believe
is
it.
one of those fursuit fellas that like to eat
He's
his own
gonna
poop.
pop back up. He's gonna pop back up at a Reddit AMA,
It
and
feels
then
like we've just got the tip of the iceberg with Messy Tails.
Yeah.
Like we've only just like who is
Patriots
Messy
say
Tails
every word
really?
Sickos.
Like yeah, what would
All right.
Messy Tails? What was he doing when he was 13? Because if he's
all I
posting
know
online,
is everything.
Playing with shit.
How
every
weird he is in his
conversation.
20s.
Every conversation always devolves to poop.
Absolutely. Actually, you know what?
Ugh.
We'll do this. We'll do a rating. All right. So we have furries, we have Magic the Gathering, we have
Yeah.
Smash players, and we just have conventions. Rate that in order from worst smelling to best smelling. So the top of the scale is number 1, and the lowest one is on there.
I'd say a Star
So
Trek convention is going to smell better than
That's not on the list.
Smash Brothers.
Charles, hijack this. You hijack it. Just like 9/11 too. Again.
Yeah,
how dare
Magic
you.
the Gathering's got to be near the top, right?
I would say Magic the Gathering is usually far enough away, and there's not less sweetiness of it. I put that to fourth. I put
What do you think
conventions as
the
a lowest smell.
ratio of fat guy crack is at these conventions?
Oh,
I
yeah.
guarantee
Oh,
you
yeah,
there's
yeah,
a lot
the
of
photo.
man crack at a Magic the Gathering tournament.
Absolutely, but there's no
I can't
intensive
stop
relation.
laughing.
It's all thinking shit, so it's less of an issue. Well, I would
I've
say the worst smelling was
never-
Smash. It's worst smelling Smash.
Yeah,
I've never even smelled like a Magic the Gathering player, so I can't gauge that.
You know,
I
this
would
is
say
really-
they're rich cunts. They're rich
Jen's
cunts
not
'cause they
hanging
can
out
do
in
shit.
Magic the Gathering rooms.
they have to be rich, right? The Magic.
Yeah, they have to be
Gathering
rich. That means they
Yeah,
have to
because
be
they
at
spend
least on the
like
ball with
so much
hygiene.
money. Like, I mean, it's like kind of like an RNG game, and you have
Well,
to.
I'm fucking getting back into it because the D&D stuff's dropping. Like, I'm getting back into it just to get the cards they want from D&D's Forgotten Realms because I'm just getting back in it and my housemate's getting into it too. But yeah,
See, I played the
I
online
played it for
thing.
I played it for like a month and a bit because it's
I
such
thought
a rich
about
man's game.
Like I tapped out when they put the Godzilla ones in. I couldn't figure out how to just buy the Godzilla cards.
Oh, the Godzilla ones were secret drops, like the secret labs ones. You just buy them
once I
individually.
realized that, I was like, I'm out. I just wanted Godzilla.
I
Like a suck
gotta
one.
say, I gotta say that I'm very happy that we're off of the smell topic because I have a thing about smells. I don't
Really?
like. I
Oh,
don't
worst
like
smell I
bad
ever
smells.
smelled.
Really?
I don't like
Worst
dirty
smell I ever
environments.
I was 4
I don't
years
like
old.
anything
We went
like
to a
that.
zoo.
I don't like it either, but over my career I've gotten so used. The only smells that I can't do is like surgery, like burning flesh.
Ooh.
Okay,
Dude.
I
yeah.
can't
Yo.
do that one.
Worst
Nothing
smell I've ever
else,
smelled
nothing
was
else
a giraffe.
really bothers me. Nothing else really bothers me, but like that.
really
And
done.
if somebody has like an open wound
Yeah.
Oh,
with the
open
dead with
wounds
with
smell
I
the
was gonna say,
dead
Jen,
with
'cause-
no, not a freshly open wound. Like it's got
Like
dead
infected?
gangrenous.
necro- infected, dead tissue around,
that's
necrosis,
the wound bed.
necrosis, yeah.
Those, if it's necrotic, it gets pretty bad. Those are the only two smells that bother me. Everything else is, I don't care.
So
I was gonna say,
imagine
I
knowing
recently
what
got
like a
skin burns quite a lot.
necrotic smell like is like. Like
It has
it's
a
the
very
smell of death.
distinct. Yes, it does. It's got, and if you smell death, that's something you literally never forget.
Yeah.
When people,
I had-
and it's not
skin tags
the
burned off.
cliche. It's not the cliche. It's very true. When somebody's getting close to dying,
Yeah,
they have
hospice,
they have a little bit of an odor too.
Can I tell you guys another story? I just realized.
Yes.
So
you got,
God.
Oki?
there's
Please.
my next door neighbor. He was a drunk and he used to call himself the Bear. He used to like go around the neighborhood, and yeah, so he's just like like very hefty bearded guy. Walked around. He was always drunk. And I visited him. I think 3 weeks before he died. And like we hung out, he's just knocking back beers and like his legs, like
Puffy.
diabetes, right? So like his legs are all like
was he like yellow too? Did he have like a yellow?
he
tinge
was like
to him?
jaundiced, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Was
so
he like
liver's
fucking only
gone.
use my blade? Like cunts, his legs.
it wasn't like that because I think that only use me blade had some sort of other thing, but this guy is like his legs were like purple and blue, right? And so he dies.
His
and
circulation was shot.
before I knew he died, there were like 15 crows on top of his house.
They know.
God.
They
They
fucking know, dude.
smelled the
Yes.
death on him.
No.
Yes, they could smell the poor circulation. People that he probably had, if not renal failure, he probably definitely had liver failure.
He probably
And
had
with
both
sure.
renal
with kidney-
failure,
with-
liver failure,
he
a whole bunch of
probably
other
had
things.
both, especially if he was that puffy. There is a certain stench with like, especially liver. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, it's not like a disgusting, oh my God, that's foul stench. It's just a certain scent that if you are around somebody that has it, you can kind of smell it. Yes, like that's on their breath, on their skin. It's just because everything is just kind of like because your liver isn't doing its job. It's done. It's failed. It's not.
All the
it
stuff is leaking out.
It can't filter anything.
Yeah.
So everything in your bloodstream is just going around. And here's the thing. I think like liver is literally the worst way you could die because not only are you getting jaundice, you're getting bloated. It affects how you think because your ammonia in your body isn't getting like you're not peeing it out. It's just shot. So it's all going to your head. So you get a little fucking nuts too.
You get poisoned.
So you get
you bomb
poisoned.
yourself.
You die not in your right head. It's a very gruesome death. Like liver is it's a bad way to go. I think it's the worst way to go.
Now.
he was
don't
50.
drink
He
it.
was 54, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
54.
And then
that's-
by the
I'm
time
guessing
he
'cause-
died, he was like, he looked bad.
He just
real
he knew
bad.
he probably just knew fuck it. He probably did have renal and he probably did have liver and he at some point, especially with like renal, if you don't go sit at a fucking dialysis machine for the rest of your life, and a lot of people don't want to do that. They don't want to go several times a week all fucking day and sit at a chair just so they can go home and eat ice chips. People are like, fuck it, I'm going to die. I'm just going to do me. A lot of people, they do that. That's probably what he did. Like he knew it was coming.
Absolutely.
ammonia breath. Yeah.
Yes.
So
KD.
scuffed.
It's very,
let's
very
go, dying the same way like fucking Binding of Isaac characters look like. It's like some horrible fucking But hey, it's unfortunately sometimes people are that's a power of freedom. People are allowed to make their own decisions and horrible things happen to them.
Yeah,
but
like
the bear, I mean, I could just imagine like this big burly guy going, I'm the fucking bear, like fucking throwing bottles and shit. Like he seemed like he probably was a good time.
He was so
may
funny.
he rest in peace. May he rest in peace.
He was so funny, and like all of his like other drunk friends, like I remember like just like hanging out with them like at the corner store and just like fucking chilling and like just like talking to them and shit. Whenever I ran into them, like I would always run into them. They were either in the park or they were like at the corner, adjacent to the corner store at the side of it, and just drinking like not even like just like cheap beer that's like, not fucking like 5%, but like fucking 8% beer, and
they go for the hardest stuff they can get.
Just hardest and cheapest stuff that they can get.
Like that, what was the Mad Dog, I think is what they called it, right?
Mad Dog. Oh, shit. Yeah, I was going to say drinking 40s and like fucking basically Everclear shit. Yeah. But it's it's how you spend your life sometimes can be fucking hectic.
Do you ever just like party like a whole bunch of and several clusters in a row and then think to yourself like, am I an alcoholic? Like, you're not, and you know that you don't have a problem.
Well, as a lifelong teetotaler, I have never had that experience.
You never you've never drank?
And I never will.
That's beautiful.
Real.
Good for you.
Do
you smoke weed?
No, I'm not a drug guy either.
You don't do anything.
Straight edge.
Beautiful.
He's straight edge.
I did not know that. I didn't know you've never drank.
Well,
I made to humanize myself.
Well, Charles, I
like
agree.
to drink.
I don't drink much. I was like, I only drink on like New Year's shit.
Whenever it goes down your lips.
Yeah, I know. Fuck
there was a truck driver I knew who made that joke.
Yeah. Whenever I get the opportunity
I just switched
to
it around in my mouth and then swallow it.
Whenever you what?
Whenever I get the opportunity to drink, I enjoy drinking and using drugs. Like I mean, yeah. I think it's
legal and stuff.
It is fun.
I mean, whatever floats your boat, man. Like, I'm not going to be a bad guy CM Punk and tell people they shouldn't do what they want to do.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not an alcoholic at all, but like I do
Sure.
I like a good drink.
Nobody's out.
I like to party. It's really weird because it's like as I'm getting older now, like I can't hang like I used to. So I really have had to learn
next day.
It'll ruin your next 2 days. Like I'll be fucked up for the next 2 days where I'm just like I'm dehydrated and nothing is working and I just want to die. Yeah. And but like like as far as just like partying, like I don't smoke weed. I don't do anything like else like that. Weed just is not. I tried to be a pothead. I swear to God, I actually did try.
It's a big commitment to be a pothead.
But here's the problem. I did not enjoy it at all. I didn't enjoy it. It made me paranoid. You know how that whole like time passage, like it feels like it's been like 2 hours, but it's only been like 10 minutes. I don't have fun with it. So it's like
I used to like weed a lot. I mean, from like the time I was a teenager until maybe the time like I'm 29. So like, I mean, like 2 years ago, like a year ago, actually, I was. From the time I was a teenager until like 2 years, like a year ago, like I was smoking weed, like, pretty regularly.
92 gang, shouts to the 92 gang out here.
Hell yeah. I'm 91.
Oh.
Yeah.
91.
Yeah. Fair,
91 fair. Gang.
Hell yeah. No, December. I'm not going to give out the whole thing, but late December.
Yeah, no worries.
Late December.
Yeah, make sure to send something to Toki.
I used to smoke weed a lot, and then eventually... At one point, I realized that when I smoke weed, like I get really paranoid and I get in my own head and I start to worry about like stupid bullshit, and then I just stopped it. After a while, like it's been like I think it's been a year almost since like the last time I smoked weed, but I do like to drink every once in a while.
We're gonna be drunk we're gonna be drunk for like 5 days straight at VidCon.
Hell yeah. I'm down for that. See?
We're gonna be just like getting up and taking shots. Like I'm just gonna come over to the house like in the morning and be like, all right, fuckers.
Hell yeah.
I think in Melbourne I'm an anomaly essentially because I grew up in like rural Australia where it's a lot of drinking and shit out there. But in the bush, I don't like drinking at all. I find it repulsive. Like my liver is so strong, I don't get drunk. I just taste a whole bunch of shit that I don't like. Because like I know so many people in like rural Australia who died because of drink driving and losing their fucking life. So I just like dipped on it. Like I think the only time I've drunk a decent amount was with KinoKast at I think New Year's Eve, and we just kept drinking peach soju. And I just drinking bottles like. I couldn't get drunk. My liver is that strong.
What is the peach soju is like 12% or like the 17.
I think so. I think 12 or 13.
Yeah,
Like, it was like cheap shit. Like, cheap
yeah,
fucking garbage shit.
But it sneaks up on you because you'll sit there
Yeah.
and just be
I like
drinking it like
soju.
water, and then all of a sudden it'll knock you on your ass. Like after like 4 or 5 shots, you're like, oh wait, I'm pretty drunk. Like I didn't think this was doing much, and it does.
That's how they drink it in Korea. Like they do like soju like shots or whatever.
Yeah.
But they don't like the fruity shit.
No, they don't. You know, I was talking.
They think the fruity shit is like water. They think that shit's like water. It's pussy shit.
I sent it to like my my Korean friend because I used to actually go to a school with like I used to hang out with like just like straight up like kids from South Korea, like a whole crew of them. That was like
StarCraft
that was my
players.
friends in like near the end of high school. Songju, and a bunch of other people like. So I sent it to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't like the peach one. I only like the clear one." And I actually realized recently, like the imported shit, like they have imported shit at the
Yes.
at the liquor store that is near me, and it's like 17%. But they didn't have that before.
Jesus.
Before it was like 12%.
Holy
like
fuck.
the peach
I
shit.
had a bottle that was like 30 years old. But one of my best friends
Damn.
that I grew up with, he's like Korean and German, and he's like 6'7". Like you cannot, like you could pick this guy out of a fucking crowd. And like his when he went to like go see family, he came back with like a case, and one of it was like, oh, this is 30 years old. And it's like, okay,
shit.
we're gonna save it for something. And so we drank it. I can't remember. I don't think it was Memorial Day weekend. And that shit burned like a motherfucker, dude. I
really?
was
One of the coolest things I've ever
burned
seen.
going down. And I didn't expect it to burn because I'm like, oh, it's soju. It'll be smooth. Oh, hell no. Like we were all dying like on the grass. Like we were fucked.
Oh
One
man,
of the coolest things I've ever seen was a bottle of liquor that my friend met a gal on one of these dating websites like OkCupid or something. She's a Vietnamese gal, and her brother brought in as a gift this bottle of liquor that has this really nasty amber color to it. But inside
Hennessy? It's Hennessy.
I don't know what it was, but
A lot
inside
of
of it
Vietnamese, like if you go to a Vietnamese wedding, it's all Hennessy.
But inside of it was a cobra, and in the cobra's mouth was a gigantic scorpion.
The fuck?
Oh, it was
Cobra
so cool.
scorpion.
Yeah,
Like
so
it's eating
badass. Yeah.
Like it's
Oh my
like,
god. I found it. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
god.
yeah.
Oh, hell
I know
yeah,
what you're
it's
talking
real.
about. I know what you're talking about now. Like
Some
I
kind
just
of like
had it
snake
pictured in my
wine or
brain.
something.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going
That
to image.
shit's expensive, dude.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it was
here
a
it is.
huge, like
That
gigantic
shit
snake.
is fucking expensive.
Charles,
yeah.
can you verify this image?
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Let me
that's
look in the Discord.
awesome. I would
Oh.
drink that.
It's
Should we try some?
Hell
We'll
yeah.
try some at VidCon. I'm gonna get some
If you
kind
can,
of.
if you can cop that, I would drink that.
Jesus
Let me
Christ.
find out. Let me see where I can order that. I will legit order that,
I'm-
and we'll fucking try that.
Jesus, it's called Real Cobra Snake and Scorpion Whiskey.
Ooh, which one should we get?
Yeah, that's
Jesus.
exactly what it was. This gigantic ass scorpion. I
I
didn't know
think
that
the
they
one
had
that
scorpions
I
that
think
damn
that
big.
the one that Charles is
There you go. There you
is
go.
describing is the one that we should get.
That is
I think that
snake
that's like
scorpion
so
love.
wild.
I've linked it and it's $10. Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
Okay, it's gotta taste fucking awful. So we really do
That's
have to try it and
painkiller.
see if we could fucking get.
That's
just
Yeah, he
fucking
said
on
that
it.
they took drinks of it on New Year's Eve that year and said it was quite nasty.
I gotta say, I don't
So,
really care about the taste. Like, I mean, eventually, you know.
You just want the adventure of having drank Cobra
If it's
liquor.
whiskey,
Yes.
if it's whiskey, I guarantee you, I'm going to puke.
Yeah.
Bar none.
fair. That's,
Whiskey makes me vomit, but whatever. Let's go.
it's the
Let's
whiskey
fucking
part
go.
of this thing that makes you vomit, not the fucking scorpion. And
No,
fucking
it's not
cobra.
the scorpion thing. It's the whiskey part.
For
that
me,
makes
it's like
me-
I'm
tequila.
sure it's
I
a
can't drink
non-venomous
tequila.
Cobra.
I
Or-
can't drink. Yeah, exactly. Tequila and whiskey. Whiskey will definitely make me vomit. Tequila's like 50-50, but I don't really enjoy it. So I try to stay away from those. Like I'm more of a vodka person.
Yeah, Sam.
Vodka and beer.
Yep.
So I'm more for that.
Yeah, the vodka, then you chase it with the beer.
Yeah, and that's how you get really like. I know better than to mix, but
I know, but that's. I mean, you want to get drunk, right? In that in that
I'm
situation,
maintaining,
right?
but I also like to like. I think as I'm now getting older again, I think I kind of like to more maintain a buzz. Like I like to be wasted, but not to the point, because the fine line between being wasted and like almost like passed out drunk is really, really thin now. I don't like to be passed out drunk. I fucking hate that. But I like to be drunk. But I also like to be buzzed better. So I've been kind of like doing more like maintaining the buzz a little bit more. But there's sometimes like if I haven't really eaten anything, like I'm just gonna be drunk and I'm gonna be like dropping shit. And
I mean,
it's not gonna be cute.
If you don't eat anything,
be cute. And you'll probably see that because I'm gonna order this shit. Like we're gonna get it.
You know what you do is you just drink like glasses of water in between, and like, you know.
Oh, I definitely stay hydrated, but I have to keep eating a little bit of things that because otherwise it's bad.
Yeah. But yes, just like a bad hangover, we have come to a fantastic finale with this, because I think we could talk for hours in regards to this, and I think we'll definitely will in the future. Mr. Oki, it was absolutely a terrific pleasure having a cheeky chin wag with you. Matey, what are you working on at the moment, video-wise?
Oh, well, I'm working on like 3 videos right now. So yeah. So
any leaks?
I'm trying to finish the Jacob Wall Part 2 video.
Nice.
Actually, Jen, you hooked me up with Cole. So Cole is like
he's working out good.
You know, we're gonna see. He's polishing it up. My Jacob Wall Part 2 video. I edited most of it, and then otherwise, like, you know, I'm trying to do a remaster of the John McAfee video that I'm working on, and then I have another video in the works.
King.
Good.
We'll have to chat about that after.
Shame about his murder.
Yeah, I was going to say that's another hot topic. So I think an aftermath episode would be something I would love to chat about with you. But people can find you on youtube.com/Oki's Weird Stories.
Yep.
What socials do you find the best for people to come and chat with you? Do you think it's the Twitter?
Well, you know, check out my podcast with the Kino Corner, the KinoKast. I think that it's a truly exceptional podcast about movies. Probably one of the best. So watch that.
Absolutely.
And
which is KinoKast.
otherwise, you know, Oki's Weird Stories on YouTube.
Absolutely. It's always fun. And I would definitely, if you need something to watch right now, I would go ahead and watch the John McAfee stuff. If it's not been remastered already, it's very intense given the situation of his recent passing. But Oki does a fantastic job with those videos.
His research and his tone to his videos is like it just like you just get so sunk into it. It's good stuff.
So
thank you.
Great
absolutely.
stuff.
You do a fantastic job, and I think you're beating a lot of people to the punch in regards to this, because I know a lot of people are going to be copying a lot of your stuff. I think we're in a month's time, we're going to hear about a story that somebody's nicked some of your research for their fucking.
You're going to start getting ripped.
It's already
totally start getting ripped off. Oh, it's already happened.
It's already happened many times, but all right, it's fine.
Jesus.
Yeah,
it's going to get more widespread. It's going to get more widespread.
I would definitely want to compliment Oki's research in his videos. Very thorough.
Exactly. So go over to youtube.com/Oki's Weird Stories and get yourself subscribed and watch them there. But you know what? Another place you can find some great content is at Doe Jingles on YouTube. Jen, what is on the slab? What's on the slab today? Because you did drop a new hot video.
I did just upload last week. I'm trying to get audio from a certain clown whose name we will not mention right now.
Ronald.
We'll let him go unnamed right now. Yeah, we'll say it's Violent J. But in the meantime, really I do have something written that I'm gonna pull Oki in on, so watch out for that. But yeah. So I have those things happening. So that's what's on the docket.
Fantastic. You can find her stuff at Dojens on Twitter and Dojengles on the YouTubes. Now, Mr. Joss Gorn, what's popping on Twitch, my good friend?
Well, brother, let me tell you something. We got the biggest, the best Dungeons and Dragons live stream ever coming up. I got my friend Billy, my friend Chris, and my friend Adam are all going to try and run through the Tower of the Elephant, based upon the Conan the Barbarian story. They got to retrieve a fancy jewel and see if they can do it without dying.
Fantastic. I'm going to see that on YouTube as well. Are you going to upload the VODs? Of course,
brother.
Fantastic. And you find that... well, Charles is in so many places. It's Bastard on Twitter. And
Mask_bastard, twitch.tv/CharlesCon, youtube.com/CharlesCon.
Exactly. And I will have to throw out one more shout out to the KinoKast with our good friend Oki here. It's if you're looking for some chaos and a good conversation about Tariq Nasheed's buck breaking on there.
The boys discuss motion pictures and motion picture accessories.
Exactly. And Oki's other channel we should mention is Oki After Dark, correct?
Yep.
Excellent. You can follow him there. And you can follow myself at Tom_Videographer and that Cyberpunk show at the end. But Mr. Oki, I need your final word on this. What was the weirdest thing that we talked about today? From the top of your mind, what was snake line?
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
Piss fucking...
I
say Piss Woman. Piss Woman has to be the weirdest and wildest thing, because there's nothing more real than Piss Woman.
Okay, well, I'm glad that I delivered.
Piss Woman prostitute. Like, Snake Wine's cool. Snake Wine's definitely the coolest thing.
Absolutely.
Like, it just looks so badass.
But a cabbie fucking a piss woman is it's kind of an encapsulation.
Oh, it's so weird. Because you can only imagine what that smell is. Like, cabbies can't smell great either.
Yeah. But you know what we can do? We can smell you later. Keep it real and keep it weird, and we'll catch you next time.